Here we are with a GRiMP.
I'm a GRiMP.
Yes.
Creator of the GRiMPS.
Okay. Is that loud enough for you?
It is for me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, when you
Okay.
speak close. Yeah, I can. So tell us about the GRiMPS.
I am the creator and cartoonist of a up-and-coming TV show, kids animated rock and roll musical TV show called The GRiMPS.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And how many GRiMPS are there, and name them, and what do they do?
There are 5 GRiMPS, but 4 in the band. The band members are Winston, Mac, Emerson, and Mooney, and their resident wizard and manager called Magic Alex.
Right. Now, does it remind you of any other thing that's ever been? Like, what inspired this? Because it has a lot of things that...
Actually, when I started to develop it, I've been a cartoonist for many years. I'm a graduate of the School of Visual Arts and studied cartooning and advertising, and have been a freelance cartoonist over many years. And about 3 years ago, I decided to put together a project where I wanted to put together my 2 passions, which was rock and roll and cartooning. And I am a musician. I've been a drummer. I played in the New York City circuit here many years ago, back in the days when Max's Kansas City and CBGB's was around, and Greg Gildersleeves, and continued from there and put this project together and said I'm going to put together the 2 things that I love. So I developed an idea about a band. It takes place in present time.
Now, what does GRiMP stand for? Is it initials or anything?
Well, no, not at all. I decided to come up with a name that was completely unique, and based on the idea of my concept where there are these little ugly little creatures in the daytime. They're gruesome and they're impish. So I decided I developed the name GRiMPS.
Great.
So basically it's a kids animated rock and roll show. It takes place in present time, but it started out where the backstory is that they lived 500 years ago, and they were cursed by an evil wizard and turned into these ugly little monsters where they would be banished for eternity, until their wizard and friend came up with a spell to reverse the spell and turn them back to humans from sunset to sunrise. And with that, they get to develop themselves and position themselves as a pop musician band. And being that, they become the GRiMPS.
Wow.
Now, what kind of, but you said rock, not pop.
Pop rock.
Pop rock.
So like the Monkees?
Sort of. It's the music that we're developing, because I have a business plan where we're actually developing original music. I'm presenting the GRiMPS to the public as an original.
Now, who's writing all the music?
We have several songwriters that are putting songs into the mix right now. Our theme song was written by a gentleman by the name Ron Dante. And for those who are old enough to remember, back in 1969, Ron Dante, I wasn't born then, 1969, Ron Dante...
God, do you remember 2004?
Absolutely. Ron Dante wrote and recorded the song Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
Oh, I know that song.
Ron and I met, Sugar Sugar. Biggest selling song of that year over the Beatles and everyone else that particular year.
The Archies. So that was another comic book band.
That's right.
So that kind of was, but they were people though. Yeah, that's a good
The Archies comic book was a popular comic book in the 50s. They decided in 1969 to
make
the song and make this fictitious band.
Right.
But my idea with the GRiMPS, besides the TV show for kids, I thought of the idea that they did in the 60s with the Monkees.
Right.
And actually,
I felt that.
Where we developed, original rock and roll, and we presented.
So is the lead singer like the Davy Jones? Is he the heartthrob? Is he the one that all the girls are going to have a crush on?
Kind of. But funny you mentioned that. What we had.
Safer that way.
One of my ideas for the show was I thought it would be very cool to get...
I'm sorry. I had the biggest crush on Mowgli. When I was a little girl, all I wanted was Mowgli. I mean, trust me, you can have a crush on a cartoon.
I guess.
I don't think she knows who Mowgli is.
Do you remember Jungle Book?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. I don't know, cartoons never really did it for me.
No,
honestly
loved
know.
him. He was so
But I
cute.
know a lot of guys were hot for like Betty, you know.
And Veronica.
Yeah.
Veronica.
Oh, I met Betty from
Oh.
Flintstones.
Oh, Betty Rubble?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, until it was not.
Betty Rubble, I think, has the skeletons.
She must. Yeah. At the bowling
Come on,
lodge.
yeah,
All right, so sorry.
Black
sorry.
Lodge,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I am too. All right, so do you remember where you were at?
Yeah, what I was saying that
Archies.
one of the Archies, and one of the ideas that we're doing for the show is where I started to speak to a lot of pop icons. I thought it'd be really cool that when the show goes on the air, and so you know, I'm at the point right now where we're pitching the show in California to networks. So hopefully very soon we will have some, good news with that. But the idea was to have pop and rock icons from like the 60s and 70s be the voiceover characters for and we've gotten a tremendous response so far.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, Peter New from Herman's Hermits, Eric Burden from the Animals, Keith Emerson.
Now, do they sound like kids still? Does their voice sound the same, or do they sound like,
Well,
why don't you get like Justin Bieber? Sorry.
But I wanted to add, tie in 3 generations. So the generations of these people will be the grandparents of the people that were the original fans. So the show is aimed at kids, 10 to 7 to 10 years old. Then there's the parents, and then there's the classic rock generation who grew up, who are the grandparents who've been listening to this classic music. So I have a feeling that we're going to really tie in 3 generations.
That's great.
And it's been a lot of fun. We've been getting tremendous response. So
it's almost like a Rolling Stones concert where the grandparents now bring their grandchildren to the show and everybody
I guess
likes
so. Actually, I do have one Rolling Stone that wants to be the voiceover of one of our characters. I cannot mention his name because he would not let me mention it until he knows how much money he's going to get paid. So I got $400 million is not enough for him.
That's great.
I'm not the 6th Rolling Stone, so I'm not going to mention which one it is. But I think he got it.
So you got a good band. You got a pretty good band.
We're off to a good start.
Now, who will actually sing the music and play the music?
Right now we have been auditioning session musicians for the studio. And, our voiceovers of the characters are going to be one thing, but the sound that we're going to develop in the studio is going to be another thing. So I have to have a consistency in the vocals and in the music and in the
And is it an all-boy band?
It's an all-boy band.
So will they have girl singers come sing with them?
We're going to have a lot of guest appearances.
Yeah.
Oh, a really, really cool thing is that in the studio, when we produce this original music, I have two tremendous producers that want to produce the music for the GRiMPS. Jack Douglas, who produced basically 18 and 19 Aerosmith's album, John Lennon's Double Fantasy and Imagine. And John Boylan, who did Boston, and Charlie Daniels, and
so you're connected.
the Eagles. I'm not connected. I'm just finding great people that are really interested in this project. So it's been really, really exciting.
But there's no girl in the show.
Well, that's
no, we have girls. We have girls.
They need girls.
Well, we have
girls are the glue.
A lot of other characters besides the 5 that I mentioned to you.
Right.
But are they going to sing or perform?
They may. We have an ongoing series here, so there's a lot of interesting things going to happen.
So is there a cartoon that you loved so much that kind of emulates it? I mean, it's like whatever it is, 2012, like a version.
No,
So it's
I don't
not
think
like Jetsons, Flintstones.
No, if I had to give you an example, I think the GRiMPS is like a cross between Lord of the Rings meets the Beatles. And Spinal Tap.
Okay, all right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I got that.
Basically, there's a magical and mystical storyline
Harry
with
Potter
the characters.
in there a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Then we got the rock and roll part, and we have the
right,
humor and all of that.
All right, now we're gonna have to. I hate to cut you, but we need a skeleton from your closet. But the thing that just crossed my mind.
I have my wife here.
There is someone who is an angel in the room today who passed away on January the 18th, and I feel this is an angel that maybe will be working with you on your show because His name is Trent Lehman, and I don't know if you know who Trent Lehman was.
No.
But he was Butch in Nanny and the Professor.
Oh, sure.
And he died at 20 years old. So, I know, and I
remember that
didn't.
show.
Yeah, well, he was the little boy that was like the cute little boy on the show. I don't know how he died, but we like to celebrate the people who pass on the day of the show as well as Angels in the Room, and I think Butch is going to help you with your show.
Thank you. Well, here's the Butch.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So now I need a little skeleton from your closet.
Everything's a fog before 1982. I don't have any skeletons.
It can be when you were like a little kid. Maybe you like pulled a girl's hair in class, or kissed another one's friend, or stole a piece of candy from Big Top. You know.
I did steal comic books from Joe's Candy Store.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm a big comic book.
That's perfect that you stole comic books. Do you remember which ones you stole?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
Really?
Absolutely. Big Marvel fan. Yeah.
Last week was Stanley's birthday.
I met Stanley
I
about
did
10
too.
years.
I met him a couple of years ago.
Wonderful man.
He was really nice.
Really, really
Did he have his
friendly.
bodyguards all around him?
No, I met him in Marvel in California, and he came out of his office and he knew I was a fan. And he was just absolutely wonderful guy.
Good for that.
Yeah.
So were you in Los Angeles a lot?
I've been there twice this year. Once when we first put the theme song for the GRiMPS together, and we recorded it out in California.
What do you think of LA? Different.
I enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
I was there the first time last February of this year. I've been there several times. Right after the terrific, horrific snowstorms we've had. So it was 75 degrees, and I just totally enjoyed it.
All right. Well, please have a National Peking Duck Treat.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
And come back. We want to know the progress of the GRiMPS.
Absolutely.
Totally. We'll be back
Pleasure. Thank
with
you.
more ReW WhO.
Thank you.